Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for taking on this issue. It's critically important. I remember a conversation we had last Congress. DEA was in the room, and when I suggested that they may want to use drug dogs to detect fentanyl packages, the DEA told me that would not be wise, given that if they actually could smell it, they would die, the dogs would die. So we're dealing with an incredibly dangerous material, and this is moving through the Postal Service, and every postal worker who touches a package is at risk. And so I think this isn't just about, for the Postal Service, it's not just about, processing and getting things through, but it really is an issue of care for your employees. And so I just wanted to raise that. Ms. Heitkamp, we noted in your testimony that the Postal Service OIG report, your audit work, found that the Postal Service had the ability to request advanced custom data under several bilateral agreements, but opted not to do that in certain circumstances. Why did the Postal Service make that determination, and what would you recommend in response?
Yes, I think most of the bilaterals that did not have these requirements in them were older bilateral agreements. More recently, the negotiations on bilaterals have included this requirement. So I believe it's more of a timing issue and a recognizing of the importance of this, and over time, I think it has improved over time, I should say. But some of the ones that we had reviewed that did not have this requirement were older bilateral agreements. And Mr. Cintron may know a little bit more about the direction the Postal Service is taking to include this more consistently in the bilateral agreements than I do at this point.
Yes, Senator, all new bilateral agreements require advanced electronic data.
Okay. And this is for anyone on the panel. It appears that one of the arguments being made regarding the Postal Service being unable to utilize a system similar to the system that has been outlined by private shippers and carriers is a cost issue. I understand that other issues also complicate equalizing the shipping requirements, but cost, processes, and technology seem to be a factor in the Postal Service claims which are inhibiting their efforts. Is this an accurate statement? If so, how do we bring down the cost of compliance and technology? Is it possible to look at prioritizing the advanced electronic data upgrades through a tiered system with foreign shippers? And under the current method you are using to try and address this situation, how long do you think it would take to get foreign countries utilizing AED at higher rates? Do you have any plans to have that discussion? I guess maybe we could start with you, Mr. Perez.
Through the pilot program that we have, Senator, with the U.S. Postal Service, we're currently getting advanced electronic data from several different countries. Specifically, the pilot in JFK has to do with both China and France, and so we're going to continue to focus on that and work alongside our Postal Service partners to see what else we can do to make sure that we're being able to not only utilize and get that advanced electronic data, but then focus our efforts to expand not only the volume that we're able to apply, but again, the quality itself, so that we can make better and more informed decisions on where it is we need to focus our efforts.
Mr. Cintron.
Yes, I guess, and I certainly wanted to, and I can clarify more on the point earlier, is that for us, with the AED and the pilot in JFK, certainly one of the things that we're going to be looking to do, expand that part of it to the other ISCs that we have, and certainly get better with the amount that we're generating that it is going to, and I can speak more about that later. In regards to the costs really are going to be incurred at the foreign post, where they really have the technological upgrades and challenges that will really need to be, that's where those costs are going to come in. And certainly that's the difference. I think the technology part of what we can do on our side is a little bit different in regard to AED once we actually get the data itself.
Yeah, I don't want to prolong this, but I will tell you, if we were happy with the speed to which the U.S. Postal Service were dealing with this issue, you all wouldn't be here. This is not moving fast enough. We see these drugs coming in. We have had numerous deaths in my state because of fentanyl abuse, And we know that the delivery point is the United States Postal Service, either point to point in this country, my recent investigation and prosecution regarding fentanyl moving in the mail from Portland, Oregon, but it originally came in from Canada. This is serious stuff, and it needs to be addressed, and we need to have a plan, it seems to me, with detailed timelines. And if resources are a problem, we need to know that. If you can't, if there's a legal problem with the bilaterals or with the agreements, we need to know that. If there's a resource problem, we need to know that. But we've got to stop jeopardizing the lives of people who move this stuff, whether it's at the post office or people who come in contact with a package unwittingly. But we've got to have a plan, and it is frustrating because we addressed this in a roundtable last year or the year before, and I think I'm hearing the same things over and over again. And pilots are good, but they don't give us a plan. And so I applaud the chairman and the ranking member for bringing this issue to the committee. This is something we are going to be serious about in terms of oversight and moving forward. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back the rest of my time.